Alrighty, hello and welcome everybody watching right now, later on, whenever it is. Chances are you may have passed out because I'm starting a little bit later tonight, so good morning, evening, whenever it is you usually sleep. Welcome to tonight's Dino action, and this is going to be a shining light. I guess you could say quite a few changes, actually, that I'll go over before we jump into things. It's going to be quite exciting. Verdant Sun's avatar, that lovely artwork used in the thumbnail. Sunny Dinos. I've tried this a little bit before, but I don't recall. I don't think it was the full play set of this. Of course, Verdant Sun's avatar, 7 for a 5/5. Whenever it or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. 5 ways. Hello. Congratulations on that Zakama pull. My goodness. Lovely, lovely stuff right there. It doesn't really get much better than that from Arrivals of Ixalan pack. Potentially the Immortal Sun. That is also quite nice. I should have posted up the Immortal Sun for you guys. Nox, how's it going? Hopefully all is well. It's not going to go well for Burn or Aggro when we drop the first copy of Verdant Sun's avatar. Of course, Verdant Sun's, if you get a second copy, you just double its effect. It's not like it's redundant, so the first Verdant Sun's entering, you gain 5 life. If you play a second one right afterwards, maybe on the following turn, you would actually gain 10. But even if you only have one out, you play Regis or Alpha, boom, 7 life. You don't have to attack, you don't have to give anything life gain or whatever, and you are left with a fantastic 5/5 body. I think it's quite nice. Of course, I get Tyrannix Rex down. Keep this in mind. Tyrannix Rex costs 7, the same as Verdant Sun's avatar. So maybe it makes also good sense to play this at 7 as the way to stabilize quite nicely against other things that, even Tyrannix Rex sometimes doesn't help. Sometimes it's too late when I drop this, but boom, if I can drop a Verdant Sun's avatar, gain 5 life, have a lovely 5/5 body that can trade with most stuff, which is quite fantastic. So that's the main idea of tonight. Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia, trimmed her down to 2 just because it's getting pretty tight, jam-packing all of this, and certainly Gwenna synergizes. Another good point with Verdant Sun's avatar, having that 5 power. Gwenna untaps, technically, making Verdant Sun's also cost 2 less. Hopefully there is cost reduction, of course, with Verdant Sun's avatar due to Huntmaster and Marauding Raptor. And then it could come down as super cheap, a lovely 5/5, gain a bunch of life, and we may be set. Card advantage wise, it's light. Actually, it's nothing on the card advantage aspect of things. So I'll look to maybe tweak that a little bit. However, there is ramp. Super duper ramp. I have trimmed 1 Castle Garenbrig, and I've switched it out with a Nykthos. Now I might go back to 4 Castle Garenbrigs and 1 Nykthos, but this has it's been proven itself, I must say. At the very least, if I have 3 Green Devotion, I can tap 2 lands, and this effectively making it tap for a green, but oftentimes I do have 4. I know, Nox. This seems to make sense. Now we have to point out, Verdant Sun's avatar, people have made, I think, the fairly accurate statement that it's too costly, it might be a little bit too slow. I don't think that's the case. If I can get out Tyrannix Rex fast enough, I got Shifting Ceratops as a lovely body a little bit earlier than this to maybe buy some time, deter some aggression. Gwenna, of course, she could block. Maybe she gets a counter on herself due to casting Shifting Ceratops, but just a lovely, lovely way to stabilize. There's really nothing, hardly, that has Verdant Sun's avatar this effect of gaining life equal to the toughness whenever a creature enters the battlefield. So I think it's gonna work fantastically. And yes, maybe we get lucky tonight. I get all 4 copies, play Galta, 12 times 4, 48. I imagine the opponent might just pack it in if I gain that much in a single turn. Crazy. But I just love the fact that, again, it's not lifelink. I don't have to depend on maybe hitting the opponent, maybe their creatures blocking, maybe their creatures attacking into the lifelink, although they may not do that anyways. You just play the stuff. I'm already playing these big, lovely bodies, so I just gained a bunch of life, and we're off to the races. Now the sideboard, that has changed a fair bit. Oh, it would be. It would be sick. But yeah, Magmatic Chasm. I've seen Boros Convoke. You guys may have used different variations of Boros Convoke. Play a bunch of 1/1s, 2/2s, tokens. Convoke them all to play some big white creatures. Loxodon, something or other. The elephant that puts a counter on each creature that convoked it. Knight Errant of Eos. Very, very explosive stuff. Sometimes getting a massive board by turn 2. Painful. I saw them using Magmatic Chasm, and I have used it before in the past, but I think maybe this could be the best way to punch through mono green, anything with a bunch of creatures on the ground, which is quite a few things. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. Boom. The idea being, hopefully, I stabilize with Verdant Sun's Avatar, I just build up a bunch of bodies if I haven't seen Magmatic Chasm already, just hold out hope, I draw it, lethal, dead, because I have so much stuff, and they weren't able to take me out due to all this lovely, lovely life gain from Verdant Suns. Back to Nature is, well, it's in. 5-color Fires of Invention, Enigmatic Incarnation had a pretty strong showing in the recent RCQ tournaments. North America here, down south, a bunch of them. Certainly did the trick. But I'm going to bring the pain to 5-color enchantment decks with this, as I often do. I'm prepared for it, hopefully. Tyrannix Rex, there's the 4th copy in the sideboard. That's basically there because I want to have the full playset. So if there's control that we face tonight, I would take the 1 copy of Galta out, switch it with the 1 copy of Tyrannix Rex, which would likely basically be better, almost strictly, than the 1 copy of Galta. Of course, it can be nice and surprising against control, but it's probably safer to just switch those 2. Tranquil Frillback is back. Yes, it's going to be a nice tranquil night tonight. Sunny, gaining life. And Tranquil Frillback is there because Gruul Vehicles also did quite well in the tournament. So I do expect to see the Akroan War. Most of the Gruul Vehicles players were starting off with 4 Akroan Wars, or they had at least 4 total in the sideboard in the 75. And that's painful for me. Very, very painful. So this is going to destroy the Akroan War, destroy an artifact, a vehicle, potentially. Exile their graveyard, although they don't do a whole lot with the graveyard, but just gain some life as well. So we would gain 3 life with Verdant Sun's Avatar, another 4 with Tranquil Frillback's ability, and destroy the Akroan War. And it's going to be a war if we do face them. I expect we'll face them, just because they did splendidly. Then Ripjaw Raptor. Hey, if we face something aggressive, that's what I want, pretty much. Although there is no fight spells, no light damage base sweepers that could ping Ripjaw to get a little bit of extra hard draw. That's alright. Certainly seems quite nice. Switch it out with Tyrannix Rex and maybe the Galta or Carnage Tyrant, and bring in a nice, cheaper body that scares away lots of aggression, or the opponent just doesn't want to block it whatsoever. Alright, I say we jump into it, get the job done, hopefully see Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx, show up at least once tonight. Man, that's been good. Tons of ramp. I'm excited to have a single copy of it, even though I don't really want to pull the plug, pull the trigger, I guess, and buy a copy in paper. It's, well, rightfully so, quite expensive still. What do we got? What do we got? Grixis, Bolt. Oof. This hand is absolutely fantastic. 4 lands, marauding, shifting. A lovely, lovely curve. If nothing gets interrupted. Hopefully this isn't Golgariels, but I expect Greasefang might be coming up, which I haven't faced Greasefang in over a week, maybe. Try to play at least 10-15 matches a day, something like that. Definitely Greasefang. Tranquil Throwback is going to be lovely, of course. Exiling the graveyard. They may get their turn 3 Parhelion 2, which would, well, we'd be dead right there. Nothing you can really do against that. I could start off with Tranquil Throwback. And there we go. Hey, that was quick and slick. Boom. Good stuff for them. All right. So pretty straightforward. Bring this in. Don't really need to gain a whole lot of life and stabilize with Verdant Sun's avatar, I would imagine. So we'll trim that up. Galta, yeah, potentially. They don't have a whole lot of removal. They have some, of course. Fatal Push, maybe a few pieces, but for the most part it's filling their graveyard, cheating out a big vehicle as they always do, and yeah, Greasefang on the play, getting Parhelion. You're not gonna do anything. Especially when I've only played Marauding Raptor. And again, Greasefang not nearly as common in best of 3. Likely more common in best of 1 where people aren't packing main deck graveyard hate. Do you want to bring in anything else? Yeah, perhaps. From a Carnage, trying to bring in Tyrannix Rex. I want to keep the hasty potential alive. I think that could be more clutch. And of course, Tyrannix Rex being 8 power would trade with perhaps the 2 angels that Parhelion makes whenever it does attack. That's a little bit rough. Certainly could be better, but it certainly could be worse. We get a potential hasty Shifting Ceratops. I don't mind, Nox. I definitely don't mind when stuff like that happens. It's a fact of life, just as the biggest part of this game is luck. If you get past that, you enjoy it quite a bit more. Thoughtseize, of course, hey, that's also a great fact of life. That's alright. Hopefully we don't get flooded. Of course, with 22 lands, that doesn't happen often, but yeah, turn 3 Greasefang. Just the fact that there's not a whole lot you can do. It's not like I could have done anything different, so it helps me stomach those times a little bit better. Of course, the Grizzly Salvage is going to be painful. They'll get that Parhelion in the graveyard. We'll cross our fingers that you know what is not in hand. Oh, that was close. I almost thought it was the rat. Oh, they can't play the rat this turn. If we get Tranquil Throwback, we get to exile their graveyard. Let's see it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Do it. I think they're... oh. I thought they were going to do another Thoughtseize. Oh, they milled 3 things that weren't Tranquil Throwback. Oh, that's okay. I guess we'll go with Shifting Ceratops. It's probably going to be it, though. They'll get that Parhelion this turn. Yeah. Well, it was a quick match indeed. Of course, I could bring in some targeted hate, instant speed interaction, of course. A Braid is pretty fantastic. 1 in the red. Instant speed, 3 damage to target creature. You don't need a dino out to fight or whatever. You can hit Greasefang at the right time before they get the vehicle out. Then maybe the following turn you exile their graveyard with Tranquil Throwback's ability to exile target player's graveyard. Perhaps that could be also good. Of course, a Braid is quite fantastic against Izzet creativity. If they're targeting an artifact, one of the treasure tokens, to cheat out something big, you just destroy that, or you destroy the Goblin, or Fable of the Mirror Breaker, Reflection of Kiki Jiki, if that is it as well. Usually it's a tiny creature that a Braid can get, or of course the artifacts. They can only target a artifact or a creature. Then a Braid could be nice against mono white humans, something aggressive, small things. Play it safe. Send Regis or Alpha to the bottom. Of course, I don't know what it's all about, and I gotta send something packing. Oh, are we facing off against angels? My goodness. We're seeing all kinds of stuff that I just don't normally see. Interesting. Definitely seems to be angels. I've seen angels use Elvish Mystic before, actually. If it is angels, this is going to be a pretty quick match as well. Hopefully not Collected Company. Oh, Questing Beast. Celestia midrange, perhaps. Oh, Naya. Naya midrange. Interesting. Of course, anytime you go first, I mean, well, that's how it goes. Not much you can do about that. Although it is nice having the shifting Ceratops. I'll attack with Marauding. Questing Beast is not going to block it. That would have been nice. I'll use shifting, hopefully, to block Questing Beast. Imagine they do have some fight spells, potentially, that is going to mean shifting Ceratops is going down. Ah, just a Naya hodgepodge. I mean, do I want to do that? Yeah, I want to do that. Take out the Questing Beast, don't ask questions. Of course, they could block next turn, and well, there's nothing much to do with that. You know what, I'll wait until shifting Ceratops is healthy. I think the Howl Pack Avenger would have taken that opportunity to block shifting. I don't want to keep my devotion to green at least a little bit healthy. Help cast Verdant Sun's Avatar and start stabilizing, finally. That's going to be nice. Depending what we draw next turn, that could happen. Topiary Stomper would get us to enough devotion. Not quite. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's a lot of good stuff. Yikes. Scary. I'm going to take one hit from this. Oh, there's the Topiary Stomper. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Okay. Here goes nothing. Almost there with Verdant Suns. Hopefully we can survive until next turn and stabilize, but certainly would have been nice. Would have been a touch faster if I'd gone first, and I think that would have worked out quite nicely. Very interesting though, Naya cheat out big stuff. Oh my goodness, well, that tends to do the trick. Yeah, well. That's that is a deck. Yeah. Can't really do a whole lot about that. Of course, Magmatic Chasm seems to be something that would surprise them. I like that. Do I like Tyrannix Rex? Yeah, well, we just got to be a little bit faster than them. Turn to 3 Verdant Sun's Avatar. And that's about it. Interesting. Back-to-back decks that, well, certainly get the job done. Cheating out big, powerful things. Perhaps that's going to be a trend tonight, although I keep my sunny disposition. Love playing dinos, and of course it's live, so sometimes it will be painful, sometimes there's nothing really that you can do, and you will be surprised, and certainly surprised by a hand like that. My goodness, 3 Hunt Masters, no land whatsoever. Well, that is the keeper. Unfortunately, not the first hand we saw. But a very cool deck, I must say. It's already off to a good start, diversity-wise. Getting Shifting Ceratops next turn is going to be quite fantastic. Hopefully they don't have removal for Huntmaster. Although most stuff takes it out. Bone Crusher Giant, I imagine. Pre-recorded. 5 ways. There you go. Everybody, hey. I'm playing the opponent's deck as well. My goodness. It sometimes seems like it's not live. Although that's a pretty safe bet if they're in some Naya or Gruul mid-range hodgepodge. Bone Crusher Giant is all but guaranteed to be in the mix. Questing Beast. We got the lovely Shifting Ceratops, hoping for no Obliterating Bolt to take Shifting out. That is always very, very painful stuff. Oh boy. Hopefully they don't have an Embercleave. They could cast it for 5 right here. Oh, phew. I was getting a little bit worried there. Oh, there's the Magmatic Chasm. At least we will get to Carnage Torrent at some point. We'll start building up the bodies. Then hopefully surprise them quite nicely with this. Pretty interesting seeing Yadaro. I haven't seen Yadaro in a long... Oh, Gwenna. They've got their own Gwenna. Well, well, well. That's going to get a nasty next turn, I must say. They'll play anything they have at this point. They have 9 mana. I think Yadaro is coming down. Kogla and Yadaro. Interesting. Question is, do I want to take 7 or perhaps build up the board and get them next turn? Well, not next turn, but get enough for lethal with that Magmatic Chasm. Let's just take it out, trade, and don't take 7. But just take 1. Ooh, that flooded, unfortunately. I imagine that's probably it, depending what they play next turn, but well, maybe we'll get there. A slim possibility. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're not beating that. No siree. It's just unlucky. We faced another Gwenna sort of based deck and they got her, we didn't. Hopefully I face Izzet Control, I must say. I miss the times when I don't get to face my favorite deck. Of course it is nice, like I mentioned, seeing a wide range, lovely diversity. Certainly keeps things interesting. You can't beat everything. You got to lose to something, and sometimes you just lose to surprising things that you don't expect. Catch you off guard and move on to the next one. I like the looks of that, though. Lovely seeing Marauding, even though it doesn't power out anything at the moment on turn 3. We'll get to T-Rex and hope no more lands. Oh. I jinxed myself as I said it. Appears to be maybe Izzet Control, Torrential Gearhulk, something like that. Just keep playing that stuff and hope they don't do anything to Marauding. Get a wee bit of damage in here. Perhaps they have a Braid or something for instant speed, but I imagine they're going to do Reckoner or Bankbuster's ability. Okay. chipping away. Oh, they're missing their land drops. This is very, very good indeed. My, oh my. Going to reveal a dinosaur just in case they have something that wants us to pay an extra 2. It could be a counter spell, making us pay an extra 1. I'm not going to take that chance. I'm going to get ahead permanently. I gave them information. Maybe, well, they're just going to see their doom. Of course, they're going to use Reckoner Bankbuster's ability again because they need to see lands. They have to take out Marauding this turn. Boom. Oh, love it. Well, I mean, don't love when it happens to me, but is it turns, I guess they call it. Ramping with treasure tokens, I imagine. Gold Span Dragon. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, I think, they make a treasure token. And whenever they sacrifice a treasure, that treasure actually makes 2 mana instead of 1. So they super ramp and yeah, well, we'll see. We got fortunate, I must say. I'm kind of thinking Tranquil Throwback. We might be seeing Magma Opus potentially. Torrential Gear Hulk is also a possibility. Going to trim Gaul to bring in that Tyrannosaurus Rex just because I imagine there's a bunch of counter spells. We'll trim Verdant Sun's Avatar. We might not need to stabilize much or do any of that, and Tranquil Throwback, I suspect, is going to be quite impactful for us. Alright. Maybe exiling their graveyard if it is Torrential Gear Hulk. They wanted to cast that Magma Opus, but boom, there is nothing left after we decimate it. We can try for a better hand there. Maybe if there was something cheaper, Topiary Stomper, Shifting Ceratops potentially in the mixture. It got worse. Okay, it got better eventually. Send the 2 costliest things to the bottom and we'll see if Tranquil Throwback shows up. Maybe they'll discard Magma Opus here or just counter Marauding Raptor. I think it's one of those 2. Censor. Oh, change the equation. It is pretty fantastic. Of course, I've got a lot of uncounterable things with shifting and whatnots. Don't need to play Tranquil Throwback. I don't have even an extra green to do its ability. So perhaps they just have a whole lot of counter spells that, well, they're just going to be sitting there. Which is fine by me. Oh. We'll just sit back and play this. They do nothing, and we do something absolutely soul-crushing. Lights out. Doesn't matter. Certainly would have been nice to play Carnage Tyrant the previous turn, but hey. Yeah, you got Divide by 0. That's okay. They saw their doom. They better be scared. They saved themselves a turn. That didn't matter. Look at that. They got a little bit mana screwed again in game 2, but hey, if they have stuff to do stuff when we do stuff, if we're not doing stuff, they're not doing stuff. But then eventually, you get to a thing they can't do anything about. Love it. Just keep playing the lands, and boom. Can't counter, can't target. You might sweep potentially, or of course have Divide by 0 or Aether Gust to return a spell or permanent with mana value 1 or greater to its owner's hand. It buys them a turn pretty much. It is pretty annoying. Sometimes I've had it cast back to back to back. I think 3 turns in a row. That was rough stuff. I'm pretty sure I lost that game in particular. Might have been on my phone, but yeah, that's all right. Hey, Verdant Sun's Avatar, let's go. But yeah, Castle Garenbrig, you see how lovely it is. You get it a turn ahead, maybe you get the Topiary Stomp or the Thunderherd Migration, also getting you there a turn sooner. Ooh, rough stuff. That's not going to do it. Well, that certainly is a lot better. It's nice seeing Topiary Stomper. I'll send Verdant Suns to the bottom. Of course, it is the most expensive thing. It could be something control-based, so Verdant Sun's not going to be super helpful against that. Oh, we've got Azorius Control. Something control-based. Wow, it certainly is pretty... Spirits. This could be Bant Spirits, I think. Question becomes, we'll try for Thunderherd Migration. I like the thought of that. Might be safe. We'll see. So it is Bant Spirits. Life is good. Life is good, Punk Monk. Hopefully all is well with you. As well as can be, and hopefully this Topiary Stomper lands. I expect they're going to counter it as well. Spell Queller? It's getting rough here. I don't see a Shifting Ceratops, which is the bane of all Spirits decks, pretty much. Now, at least they haven't played Lords, and they haven't done a whole lot of damage to us, so... Oh! Speaking of Shifting Ceratops, ask and you shall receive. And hopefully they don't have another Spell Queller. They have another Spell Queller. Nuts. Yeah, overall, general, life is good. The days are hot. Fortunately, it gets pretty cool. Eventually. That's probably going to be it for us. Haven't done a whole lot body-wise, and... Oh yeah, we're just dead. Yeah. Not a whole lot you can do. They had exactly lethal the following turn, even if they didn't play any more spirits. Tranix Rex it is, and Trim Verdant Sun's Avatar. Bring in Ripjaw Raptor, a cheaper body that we could get down, sneak it in through a counter spell, maybe if they're tapped out. Start applying pressure, of course, a 4 or 5 body against spirits. Chances are they don't have something to trade with it. They may have to block with 2 creatures, but they may not want to. It is a strong deck, absolutely. I just love, partly, that's why I love starting off with Shifting Ceratops, 4 copies. The big top end of Carnage Tyrant, Tranix Rex, lots of stuff that can't be countered. Sometimes there's not a whole lot you can do, though, especially if they play first and, excuse me, things aren't quite as explosive as they need to be, but that hand certainly seems to probably do the trick. Send that Rockfall Veil off to the side just so I don't play it by accident. Hey, they're tapped out, of course. There's a pretty good chance they will be, or well, they wouldn't be able to do anything for 1, I imagine. I suspect a counterspell in the mix. What would they counter? That is the question. Let's try for Thunderherd Migration. We got to play something. Could have revealed Carnage Tyrant, but maybe I'll reveal a body that they would save the counterspell for. Yeah. If they're countering a thing, they're not playing a thing. And getting the counterspell burnt on Thunderherd could be slightly better. Topiary Stomper, if and when it lands, powers up Marauding, makes Marauding a little bit more of a threat, but hey, they're tapped out and we got Regis or Alpha. You don't want to do that. Boom, look at that. Punk, Monk. You hate facing spirits, but you love times where you lay the beat down. I imagine it seems they were starved on mana, didn't have a whole lot going on, but the second that landed, no chance. Very, very nice indeed, yes. Hopefully I get to do it again. That seems like it might do the trick. We've seen them mulligan once, I believe. Yes, okay. Oh, and a tapped land. So we know they don't have a spirit that costs 1. That's very important. Turn 1 Spectral Sailor or Mausoleum Wanderer. Turn 2 Curious Obsession. That could be pretty rough stuff. Fantastic for card advantage, I must say. But the question becomes Thunderherd Migration. I'm going to do that just because I have the third land in hand. If everything goes well, I can go Marauding Raptor plus Topiary Stomper next turn for a total of 4 mana. I imagine they'll probably want to play a Spirit. I hope they see I have something that can be countered, but perhaps they want to be a little bit more aggressive being on the play or whatnot. I think they got something for something. Castle Garenbrig it is. You know what? Let's try it. I may want to save Marauding. Oh, okay. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. We get Tyrannix Rex next turn, and I think that's just going to be lights out for their chances. There's going to be Collected Company coming up just as it goes to combat, I think. Hopefully there's no Spell Queller, but Spell Queller exiles a spell with a mana value 4 or less, I believe. Hey, uh-oh, we're winning. A little bit, Pterosaurus. I think we're going to be winning when I drop Tyrannix Rex, and they won't have enough aggression to deal with it. Collected Company coming in hot, though. Gotta be. Maybe not. There it is. Pre-recorded. Of course, if you see green in spirits... Oh, dead. Look at that. Look at that, folks. Pterosaurus, you joined at the right time, and Punk Monk, I think you were my good luck charm. You said spirits causes you pain, and you don't like him. Then you hand it to him. I must say, it keeps doing the trick. You have to hope they don't get early Supreme Phantom, Power Up, all their other little things. But again, very nice that I didn't see something with Curious Obsession. 1 blue, +1/+1. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. It's really hard to get a foothold. You get buried in their card advantage, and they always have a counter spell, it seems. Oh, that is interesting. Huh. I should check that out, Pterosaurus. Huh. Strange. Well, yeah, speaking of different emojis and things on the Discord, it's quite fantastic. I added a few more. If you haven't joined the Discord, of course, check it out. A link in the description, or just ask anybody here. Definitely working out. There's a few more to add, those little dinos, but for the most part, there's a happy one, excited, knocked out. If you face something bad, you want to vent about it. Yeah. Okay, man, it always feels good taking down any sort of spirits. But I imagine since it was Bant with Collected Company, they want to increase the hits on Collected Company as much as possible. So they may not have been using Curious Obsession and Enchantment that would whiff. This hand, though, it's a little bit awkward. Don't have a guaranteed... Oh. I said it was awkward, and boom, I get the thing. The exact thing that I needed. Stomp the ground, helping Castle Garenbriggs and Rootbound Crag enter untapped. Rockfall Vale as the third land. Beautiful stuff. Rakdos Sacrifice, though, is going to be a little bit interesting. I imagine we'll be able to stabilize with Verdant Sun's Avatar if we can live long enough to get there. You know what? We're going to go with Thunderherd Migration instead. Get ahead in a stable way. Marauding Raptor wasn't going to power out anything on turn 3 anyways. So might as well do the safer thing, because I expect it was all but guaranteed that Marauding was going to go down, unfortunately. The fantastic Rakdos Sacrifice with this lovely Voldaire and Thrill Seeker. Paying 1, sacrificing it Deal damage equal to its power to any target. Also, that variation or Gruul vehicles with the Voldaren Thrill Seeker, giving backup, or the backup too, temporarily giving this ability to fling itself. Or whatever creature it targets, dealing a bunch of painful damage. A sweeper certainly would be good. Something that is cheaper would have been good, but hey, sometimes you do get flooded at 22 lands, unfortunately. That's okay. That's okay. We got a plan. Tranquil Throwback. Imagine there is Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Kroxa potentially could be coming at us. Of course, there's Mayhem Devil, likely. Witch's Oven, Cauldron Familiar, so taking out the oven and exiling the graveyard, which we wouldn't get the cat. They would respond to us targeting their graveyard to exile it. They'd pop the food, get the cat back out, and unfortunately we will be done for. However, I think it would bring enough pain. Ripjaw Raptor actually might be quite nice. Although Verdant Sun's Avatar. I'll trim that. Get that Tranquil Frill back. Oh. Actually, you know what? Trim Shifting Ceratops. Bringing all those Ripjaw Raptors. Lovely. If they block with a tiny creature, we draw a card, we take it out, get some nice card advantage. And I think I have enough big stuff with Trample that we're going to punch through, get the job done. Oh, yeah, nuts. That's not going to do it. That's not going to do it either. Unfortunate I can't bring some of those lands that I was flooded with the previous game into right now. Hey, we got it. Good stuff. Sadly, I have to send Tranix Rex and Ripjaw to the bottom. Actually, kind of tempted to just send Huntmaster. Let's do that. Turn 2 Thunderherd, turn 3 Ripjaw. Don't even play Huntmaster. Of course it is nice with the cost reduction and the haste. There is the Witch's Oven. Oh, there is Topiary Stomper. Well, you know what? Ripjaw Raptor. They have claimed the Firstborn to temporarily steal a creature with mana value 3 or less. Ripjaw, of course, being a mana value of 4, does dodge claim the Firstborn. Of course, they could sacrifice a creature, meeting the requirement of Fatal Push to take Ripjaw out, so we'll have to hope that doesn't happen. You know what? I'm just going to go with Topiary Stomper. See if we draw out to claim the Firstborn, or see if we draw out that Fatal Push. Save Ripjaw, increase the devotion, get ahead in a stable way. Yes, I did. Nykthos, it has been doing good. I must say, a single copy has been feeling quite nice. Hopefully it shows up this game for you, but I imagine at least once tonight. Ooh. Luckily there's no Mayhem Devil. That is always painful when they get that Psycho going. Oh my goodness. Well, another Topiary Stomper. We're going to play a whole bunch of stuff coming up next turn. Nykthos, hopefully tapping for 4 green at least. This is going to be nice. Be at 7 lands. Can be fantastic attacking with 2 of those Topiary Stompers. It'd be nice just playing Ripjaw and Topiary. However, I'll play the first Topiary. I'll be left over with 2. Nykthos can tap for 6, which is quite fantastic. Just cross your fingers they don't steal one of those. Huh? Oh, phew. I was getting worried. Definitely nice having 4/4 vigilance creatures being hit for 4 right now with the Bloodseeker and Blood Tithe Harvester and the Cauldron from there. However, we've got the frill back. Oh boy. Here goes nothing. Tons of green. That's where it's at. I think their time is numbered. Yes, it certainly is nice, I must say. Nick those for 6. Get her done. Have some fun. Yeah, I'll go with Tranquil Throwback. We'll take out that Witch's Oven. We'll stop them doing stuff. Gain 3 life. Well, I have a total of 6, so I can do Tranquil Throwback. It's 3 abilities. I think that is definitely much nicer. That's feeling good. Like I was saying, they dodged the Graveyard Exile, but hey, we stopped that painful turn of events from happening too much. Blood Tithe Harvester might tap and sack. I don't think it's going to. I think we should be safe here. Maybe they have some sort of mass exile extinction event. Something like that. But I think we've got a very nice board indeed. Oh boy, dig for that Witch's Oven. Dig for that Mayhem Devil. But just a 4/4 Vigilance is very scary for the little creatures that they have. There is the Mayhem Devil. Phew! We saved ourselves taking a decent bit of damage. I must say, it would be nice to get to Verdant Sun's Avatar. Super stabilized with all that life gain. Yeah. We lose a Topiary Stomper. That's fine by me. They expended a fair bit of resources there. Oh, beautiful. Man, Nyctosis. Tapping for a lot, my goodness. Just keep up the aggression. I don't believe Mayhem Devil's going to block either. Of course, that would be quite nice. Oh boy. Sometimes I just get flooded, of course, with Nykthos. It would be nice to have a mana sink for all that potential extra mana that I have. So that's going to be one aspect that I'm looking at. However, they got the cat. They got to sacrifice something. Steal it maybe with Claim the Firstborn, if that is the other card in their hand. They do need a food token to get stuff going. We're just going to keep attacking. They can't do anything. Mayhem Devil has to block this turn for them to live. It's got to be it. Unless that other card in their hand is... Nah, nothing. Phew. Oh. Tranquil Throwback was the all-star there. If we hadn't taken out the oven, they would have got Mayhem Devil shenanigans, cycling it. Perhaps we still would have got the job done. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. I'm kind of thinking of trimming Gwenna. Maybe Huntmaster. You know what? I'm going to trim all the Huntmasters and I'm going to bring in Verdant Sun's Avatar. Crazy, but Huntmaster dying to just a wide range. 2 pings from the Mayhem Devil. Blood Tithe Harvester, if they have 1 blood token out, -2/-2. The Huntmaster, claim the Firstborn on Huntmaster. A little bit too painful. Of course, it would be nice to switch out still some early ramp if and when I do cut Huntmaster. I've done that in the past. Other stuff for 2 in the sideboard just to keep the game plan alive of getting to the bigger stuff a little bit easier. Alright, let's get that Verdant Suns. get a bunch of life, and watch them cry. I think I can work with that. Turn 2 Thunderherd, turn 3 Ripjaw. Might be nice. Definitely just nice seeing the Thunderherd. Hopefully there isn't a turn 1 Thought Season or a turn 2. Oh, but a Topiary Stomper to boot. If we see Castle Garenbrig, we're definitely going to be seeing a pretty early Tyrannix Rex, which is going to wreck any chance they have, I suspect. Definitely Topiary Stomper. Let's get ahead as much as possible. Get a mountain just in case I need to do a touch more stuff with red. I suspect that might be a possibility if I draw Marauding Raptor, and well, there is only one mono red source, so it's definitely not too bad. Oh, beautiful. Get Topiary, get ahead. We're at 5. We'll be at 6 lands next turn with this Carplucent Forest. Well on our way to T-Rex. Regis or Alpha next turn, of course. You can't claim the Firstborn. You can't Fatal Push Regisaur, being a mana value of 5. So oftentimes it does stick around pretty nice. Pretty often. But I think their time is numbered. They have basically nothing in hand. It's not feeling pretty good for them. And we got the 7th land right there. Boom. I'm not going to attack. Both Unlucky Witnesses probably would have blocked. They would have got a bunch of cards that they could have played this turn. They may not have anything that can sacrifice the Unlucky Witness. Okay, we'll force them to do something to get rid of that, to get cards temporarily. I hope Regisaur is safe. I figure it will be. Oof, the Mayhem Devil. That's alright, they don't have anything to sacrifice. We're still at a very healthy 18, and we could get Verdant Sun's Avatar. Boom. We are in range. However, that's gonna be pretty hard to deal with. Any creature we have trades with Mayhem Devil if they wanted to block with it, although I don't expect that's going to happen. But maximum aggression, I don't see how they can kill us next turn, being an 18, and we're going to take out at least 2 bodies here, I think. Nothing. Well, maybe they got some shenanigans up their sleeve. Making a bunch of reflection of Kiki Jikis, perhaps. To have to do something impactful. That Abrade that they could play is not doing a whole lot. It might take out the... oh, okay, it doesn't. I think we got him. Seems to be the case. They're probably not targeting Tyrannix Rex. If they do, they take basically their entire turn off. Oh, they got an oven. Do they have a cat? With their final card, Jangatha is not going to save them. Oh, look at that, folks. Tyrannix Rex, that's all you need to get the job done. You get Thunderherd Migration, you get Topiary Stomper, you get there. Often. Often enough, I think, at least for me. They can't handle that. Boom! Oh, it is a beautiful sight, Pterosaurus, absolutely. The oven cooks a lot of cats, but we cooked that oven for the final time. That oven is cooked. It's not returning from the massive amount of damage that I just did. That witch better have warranty on this. Hopefully she doesn't forge it. I imagine a witch probably could with the casting of spells, and although she bought it from a magical place, I suspect, so they would have ways to detect magically forged warranty documents. Now she's out of a lot of money, I bet. I'm not trying. Okay. What's it going to be coming up? Hard to say, really. I definitely can see we get the job done. Maybe Verdant Sun's avatar isn't needed. There's probably a pretty good chance there's something better for a wider variety of stuff, but I must say, if I can cast Tyrannosaurus Rex easily enough for 7, Verdant Sun's avatar, boom. They got fried, yes, 100%. You fried your last cat. Not advocating for frying cats, but they are the world's worst invasive species. A fun fact. I forget the exact stat of all the birds that they kill, if they're outside cats, of course. Just the havoc that they wreak on the ecosystems. It's not a pretty sight. Oh, we're facing off against potentially Rakdos midrange. Of course, they've got that tapped Blood Crypt. No turn 1 Thoughtseize I expected. We get ahead. Nothing you can do against a basic land. Fatal push that. Hopefully everything's sticking around. Of course, I have to worry about the auto tapper. It's going to try to tap both Karplusan Forests, I suspect, for Huntmaster. I have to tap the forest first. Then I'm left with that. Oh, 1 source of red. Good stuff. They're tapped out. They can't do anything. And we got another land. My, oh my. Yeah. Huntmaster and Marauding this turn, set up for a potential Carnage Tyrant next turn. Although I expect at least one of these things is going down. Harvester taking out Huntmaster, and then a Fatal Push taking out Marauding Raptor. Not well. Wow. Whew. That is that's good. Okay. Okay, well, still might get Carnage Tyrant. Might not get Carnage Tyrant, but you know what? We'll get Topiary Stomper first. Might as well have it stick around. Get the land. Get to Carnage Tyrant next turn, no matter what. Even if both Marauding Raptors go down. I do Castle Garenbrig's ability for 6 green. We get to attack with a lovely 6/3, and maybe they want to take 6, which would be quite fantastic. But yeah, I suspected they wanted that treasure from that Goblin token. It's lovely just knowing we've got Carnage Tyrant. Doesn't matter what they do. Maybe they have a Thoughtseize of, oh, it's Greasefang. Huh. I mean, we're not dead yet, but almost. Having to deal with 4/4 Vigilance Angels, though, is painful. Crazy, down to 1. Well, that was a surprise to me. Yeah, we're not busting through that. Okay, Tranquil Throwback it is. Of course, trimming the Verdant Sun's avatar. It's got to be months, 3-4 months since I've seen the Mardu variation. I still think Abzan is better with Essica's Chariot. Lovely vehicle. Make a bunch of little cats. Pretty fantastic backup plan. Your second most hated deck. Well, hopefully Pterosaurus. I bring the hate with Tranquil Throwback. Exile that graveyard. Destroy some artifact. And cross your fingers we see it early. And I don't have to mulligan too aggressively for the Throwback. Trim that Verdant Suns. Definitely Tranquil Throwback is the thing I want to be doing. Certainly this is infinitely more impactful than the Verdant Sun's avatar. Definitely. Ripjaw Raptor? Yes. Maybe. You know what? I'll keep it like that. I still like the big scary dinos. Of course, lowering the curve may be a better idea. Just jam pack the cheaper bodies just to get some online, get a little bit of pressure. But I think with Tranquil Throwback, that might buy us enough time, boom, that I get to it. And that is like the best hand I could possibly ask for, pretty much. Of course, hopefully Huntmaster survives, so I can go Tranquil Throwback and activate its ability for one. Fortunately, it is just Den of the Bugbear. They often, I would imagine, with Mardu Greasefang, red, white, and black, they don't have anything for one red that would take it out. Blood Tithe Harvester, beautiful. Certainly holding on to that Tranquil Throwback, ramping stably, so it doesn't matter what they do. We'll have enough to at least pay an extra green. Two things next turn. We lose Huntmaster to the Blood Tithe Harvester, not a problem. No Thoughtseize. Oh boy. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. They're going to use Fable's second stage whenever they put that second lore counter on. They're going to discard a big artifact into the graveyard. Over Tranquil Throwback to, well, take out Fable of the Mirror Breaker. They lose the ability to do that. However, I could Besage you to take out Fable. They have to do something that costs mana to get the vehicle into the graveyard. So if I take out Fable, whichever way, do I want to reveal the fact that I have something that can hate on the graveyard and enchantments? I would only be hating on an enchantment this turn. I'd like to package both of it. Exiling the graveyard, destroying Fable, all in one. Besage you it is. Well, they get another land. I'm not worried about that. Likely grabbing plains. If they have much more basics. They might not have a whole lot. But I think if anything, they'll get that source of white. Being Mardu. Probably. Oh yes, they can grab any land. I forgot about that. So Savai Triumph, of course, the land that they grab enters tapped. That always enters tapped. It is lovely stuff. Phew. Let's see if we force them to do something else, a different way to fill their graveyard with the vehicle, and then we hit them with the throwback. While there's actually something we want to exile in the graveyard. Maybe we take out another Fable of the Mirror Breaker, plus we exile the graveyard. That would be pretty debilitating for them, I think. Hopefully I see something else impactful. Maybe a second throwback. That would be pretty nice. No more lands though. I've got enough to play anything I grab or see. I think they were looking forward to discarding Parhelion too. It's not too bad. I could block Blood Tithe Harvester. I have enough lands at this point to play whatever pretty much, but it might be nice. Oh, there's that Fable. I will be using Tranquil Throwback coming up. I hope. No Thoughtseize. Do it. Oh, don't do it. Interesting. This does seem pretty fantastic. Mardu with lots of the fantastic Rakdos mid-range stuff. But then they have the backup plan of Greasefang cheating out a big vehicle from the graveyard. Seems to be doing the trick. The lands. The painful lands. Well, Tranquil Throwback. Let's get the job done. Do a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I think that's going to work out for us. No more lands. No more lands. I must say, it is pretty interesting seeing 2 Greasefang-ish decks, even though... Oh, well, there you go. They can fill the graveyard with the vehicle at a wide variety of times, so sometimes just exiling it... No. Hey, that is why instant speed graveyard exile is really where it's at, if at all possible. Sometimes Greasefang just gets the job done as it has tonight. Yeah. If I see another Greasefang, though, perhaps I'll have to keep some better graveyard hate on the menu. Definitely that blood token, just paying 1, putting the vehicle into the graveyard, getting around graveyard exile, and just doing that at instant speed at any time whenever it makes sense. Rough stuff. That first hand was pretty rough, but seeing Nykthos in both the 2 starting hands is quite nice indeed. And of course I got a source of red. That is the keeper. All right. Hopefully get it sorted out at some point. They'll keep eventually. Lag. Maybe. Although the phone client has been pretty fantastic. Hasn't really crashed a whole lot. Maybe I've gotten lucky, but it certainly is a nice change, I must say. I had to do something, step away, make a cup of coffee, change a dirty diaper. I'm just glad my daughter fell asleep. Took a little bit longer because she had a pretty big nap today, but she hasn't stirred a whole lot, which is very good. Didn't really have any treats at the end of the day, and of course that does help. Stay asleep, less sugar. I should have nice upbeat music for these times. Actually, let's play one. One of my favorite ones. Where did it go? Why can't I see it? Oh. This is it. This is perfect. What are you waiting for? Oh, okay. It took him a while. Waiting for the opponent to keep a hand. Huntmaster. I was thinking of maybe sending one of the lands to the bottom, but I like seeing all 4. I get a land drop for the first 4 turns. Got some lovely bodies. I think that's going to be a little bit better. Of course, it could be something with some fantastic cheap removal, although I think the timer ran down. That's probably why it started. Yeah, maybe it's our free win of the night. Doesn't always happen, but hey, I'll take anything I get. Maybe it's redemption, revenge, after losing to Mardu Greasefang. Still can't believe I saw that. Going to be another few months, but got him. Oof! The ultimate power of dinos. They didn't even want to face him. They knew what was about to happen, so they just walked away. They felt the rumblings. Perhaps. Okay. What's it going to be? Oh, a tail swipe. Pretty nice. I have used that in the past. Of course, it features dinosaur art, instant speed interaction for 1 green. Fighting. Very, very nice. Might try it in the future. I think I featured it one night. Of course, it's pretty fantastic art. I think that would make a nice thumbnail indeed. Yeah, I should look that up. Oh, it was a tough fight. I clawed out victory. Oh, that reminds me. Take a bite out of that like button if you haven't already. If you love fantastic action as the previous match was. Wow. I'm stunned. I'm speechless still after the finish. Like, oh, it's hard to describe, I must say. Oof. This hand, though, it's going to be a little bit risky. 2 lands, of course, a source of red for the Marauding Raptors. 2 sources of green for Topiary Stomper. Maybe we're seeing another Rakdos Sacrifice, which I'm gonna sneeze. 1 second. Okay, very interesting. So that actually reminds me of something I was wanting to do. I might do after I'm done here. Record some commentary on all the top decks, the best decks that placed this past weekend on the big tournaments. Rakdos Sacrifice was one. A few Rakdos Sacrifice decks actually placed pretty high, I must say. Quite nice to see. Pretty painful. If I get big enough bodies, Carnage Training Strikes, usually things seem to work out. Going to be Marauding plus Thunderherd Migration next turn, at the very least though. Possibly Marauding plus Shifting. But they do have an uphill battle. Good. We draw out a Fatal Push with that treasure token, I think. Waiting for them to sacrifice it. Maybe they're saving it. Play something for 4. Shieldridge. Although I don't think Rakdos... Oh. Okay. I was also thinking we'd face a little bit of Rakdos Sacrifice. That was definitely quite popular. Guess they are waiting for that Mayhem Devil. It's certainly much more efficient. They dealt the damage to us. We got that. And Marauding Shifting. Thunderherd Marauding. You know what, let's go with that. I think if anything, Shifting Ceratops might die. And then next turn, a Marauding Raptor with 1 out already would be enough reduction, I believe, to play Galta. But hopefully Shifting sticks around. I think it will. I mean, if both stick around, we're off to the races. I don't expect... There's that Claim the Firstborn, Witch's Oven, or Deadly Dispute, sacrificing Marauding Raptor here. Now perhaps they have Fatal Push. Either way, they have something that is going to sacrifice Marauding Raptor. I don't think there's Bone Crusher Giant, but we'll see if this draws out something. Hope it's not Stomp. Interesting. Well, we just get Galta this turn. That's where it's at, I think. The Queen. Did I do my math wrong? I did my math wrong. That's okay. Actually, you know what? I want to reveal Carnage Tarrant. So I still have 1 green for Shifting Ceratops. Give it Trample. Get through a little bit extra damage if Mayhem Devil blocked for whatever reason. Carnage Tarrant comes down no matter what. Whatever they kill. I like it. And I definitely like that Marauding stuck around. It's quite surprising. Eh. We seen 2 fatal pushes, so I think that means Shifting Ceratops is going to keep living. Should probably read this new version of Obnixilis, Captive Kingpin. 2 black and red flying trample for a 4/3. When 1 or more opponents lose exactly 1 life, put a counter on it. Exile the top card of their library until their next turn. They may play that card. Ooh, that is painful stuff. Very nice card advantage indeed. However, gonna do Carnage Tyrant plus Galta. I can make a total of 6, 7. I think it's only one of these. We're going to try for Galta and hope for the best. Gwenna certainly could have been nice. Hey, if Obnixilis wants to trade with Shifting, I'm all for it. Cross your fingers, Galta lives. I expect they'll be packing some heat for something big, though. Heartless Act, cut down. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. They have nothing that takes out Galta this turn. They're going to be hit for absolutely massive damage. They can't attack with anything, I think. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. No, Obnixilis, you don't want to attack. You can't. Odd. Nope, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh. They almost sealed their fate right there. My goodness. You know what? Let's do 6. Let's get Gwenna plus Topiary Stomper. We'll have 7 lands. We'll have a nice, lovely thing to block with, and I like it. Obnixilis probably wants to block some... Oh, interesting. They're still dead. But yeah, I imagine Obnixilis blocks... Oh, love it. Love it. I think we got him here. Backs against the wall. Certainly seems like we're taking down Rakdos Sacrifice once again. You can't handle the Queen, which, again, I only have 1 copy of Galta in the list tonight. That definitely usually hasn't felt like enough copies of her. Oh, done for. Wow. Yeah. Bring the pain to this again. However, Tranquil Throwback, yes please. That's coming in. Gwenna? It really does seem like I get there often enough without her. Of course, 1 copy of Gwenna at the very least does seem like a pretty fantastic thing. But we've seen multiple times. I really haven't used her. I have enough ramp with all of this stuff. Of course, she does have great potential. She has to last an entire turn. She can't tap the turn she enters just because she doesn't have haste. She could get a counter on it. If you play Gwenna, then you play a creature afterwards that's big enough. You know, maybe Shifting Ceratops. Put that counter on her at the very least. Right. Let's get her done. Oh, I like that. I think it's pretty fantastic enough. Quite reasonable. Turn 1 Witch's Oven. Pretty painful. Hopefully they don't have that Cauldron Familiar coming up. I was almost tempted to mulligan for that Tranquil Throwback. Just couldn't resist a very decent looking hand. Try for Huntmaster, even though I expect it's gonna either die to Fatal Push or that Blood Tithe Harvester. But if we draw out Blood Tithe Harvester, sacrificing itself, that wouldn't be so bad. Turn 3 Mayhem Devil is going to be, of course, quite painful indeed. Not super painful. We don't see a cat. Oh. Yeah, it's got to be Rockfall Vale. Almost played Stomping Ground, tapped. We get Regis or Alpha next turn with all these lovely, lovely lands. Tyrannix Rex, the turn after that. We'll have 6 lands, plus Castle Garenberg, meaning we get 7 green. Ooh, double Mayhem Devil probably means we're done for. There's no cat, but still, it's not a pretty sight. Yeah, Regisaur it is. They can only deal 2 damage when they sacrifice the Unlucky Witness to the Witch's Oven. So that token is still safe, I would imagine. They'll ping us for 2. Two claim the firstborns. And now that is quite interesting, I must say. They'll steal probably Topiary Stomper and maybe the token. Definitely the token. Well, certainly I'm not blocking with Regis or Alpha. It would take 3 damage, go down to 1. They'd only need another point to finish it off. Although... No. I'm okay taking 3. That's alright. That's alright. I want to preserve Regis or Alpha. I want to attack potentially with the other Topiary Stomper that I have. That may be better, or we may just be dead, of course. Tranquil Throwback could be good. That's not a Tranquil Throwback. Question becomes, well, we definitely would be dead next turn if I attacked with T-Rex. But the Topiary Stompers, I think that could be better. And we don't have to worry about 2 claim the firstborns. Well, one's in the graveyard. One was exiled because they could only choose to play one of those. So I think the 2 4/4 Vigilances is a little bit nicer. But again, we still likely could be dead. Sacrificing the 2 food tokens, the blood token, Witch's Oven especially. We'll see. I do believe we have to block this goblin. I can't go down to 7. And Topiary Stomper being, well, almost temporarily damaged. We'll see. I think we'll be left at just 1. 1 or 2. I think Tyrannix Rex might finish him off if we're still alive. Yeah. Oh boy. Actually, no, they sacrifice. And they'll sacrifice the treasure to do it. Yeah. That's okay. Good stuff. Sacrifice the treasure to nothing. I mean, if it gets them the win, that's where it's at. Alright, hopefully see that Tranquil Throwback. Take out an early Witch's Oven. Hope we don't see double Mayhem Devils. If it was just 1, of course we would have got the job done, I imagine. 2 is bad. 1 is bad enough. I'm just happy I didn't see an early Cauldron Familiar. My goodness. Phew. Oh, yeah. Well, it's no Tranquil Throwback, but it is certainly a very reasonable looking hand to start. Thunderherd Migration, I imagine. Always with that turn 1 Unlucky Witness. Shifting Ceratops possibly next turn. Just skip over Huntmaster there. Just shift it. Carnage Tyrant next turn should be pretty good. Can't steal shifting. All you can do is kill it. So maybe sacrificing that blood token, meeting the requirement of Fatal Push. Of course, I'll take 1 damage from Unlucky Witness any day. Make them jump through their own hoop to get rid of it. Alright, cross your fingers there's no Mayhem Devil coming up. Oh, love the Carnage Tyrant. That's where it's at. Of course, I'm not attacking with Shifting Ceratops. I don't have an extra green to give it trample. Cauldron Familiar would block shifting. They'd sacrifice it before damage, and we wouldn't get anything through. But if I could give it trample in response, the full 5 damage would continue on in. Take him down a chunk. Tranquil Throwback next turn would be nice. Very nice to take out the Witch's Oven. Phew. A damage-based sweeper, light damage-based, would also be pretty lovely. Huntmaster plus Thunderherd Migration. Let's do that. Draw out a land from the deck, thin it a little bit, even though the thinning to increase the chance of seeing something that isn't a land is fairly negligible. And I'll attack with both. I forgot to leave 1 source of green up for giving Shifting Ceratops trample, sadly. But I'll still connect for quite a bit of damage with Carnage Tyrant there. Interesting. Both Unlucky Witness. Okay. I thought maybe both Unlucky Witnesses would block, just so, you know, they have a bunch of stuff they can play temporarily, although maybe they're holding back the other Unlucky Witness for the Shifting Ceratops. They don't know that Shifting can get trample yet. Sneaky trample. Alright, let's see a body. Any body. Tranquil Throwback specifically. Perhaps we can surprise them. Hold back on Tranquil Throwback. Get them to use their Witch's Oven. Sacrifice the foods. Possibly be able to exile the graveyard while a cat is in it. And they won't be able to respond because they have nothing else. Ooh, the lands were flooded. We're flooded tonight. Well, Carnage plus Shifting. Get her done. Could they kill us next turn? Well, I don't think so. There is both Huntmasters to block things, so I think we may still be safe. I want maximum pressure, though. Hit through a nice chunk of damage. Take him down quite a bit, as low as possible, and definitely hitting him for a little bit more that previous time with Shifting Ceratops. That probably would have got us. Definitely an unfortunate goof not leaving that 1 source of green. Ooh, the Mayhem Devil's probably finishing us off here. And they got 2 cats, 2 foods. Well, when they have lots of stuff to sacrifice, there's not a whole lot you can do. try to be as aggressive as possible, and sometimes, even with 21 lands, you get flooded. Might go back to 22. Or 21, I might go back to that. I'm at 22 right now. Don't need to see all that cat oven stuff happen. I don't believe so, Pterosaurus. We could check it out, actually. I'm pretty sure there's nothing instant speed for one in a green or one in a red. Of course, there is some instant speed artifact destruction, but I don't know what that I'd want to bring it in. Back to nature is just so devastating. Yeah, we'll take a quick detour for a couple seconds here. Search up artifact destruction. Artifact destroyed. What do we got? Go collected and not collected, just so... Oh, I see the entire range of stuff. Of course, lots in red. Instant speed. Let's see what's at instant speed. Artifact destruction. Not a whole lot. I think there's probably some... Oh, actually, yes, there is. I've always wanted to try this out. I do have the full playset. Rampage of the Clans. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but destroy all artifacts and enchantments. So it covers both angles there. For each permanent destroyed this way, its controller creates a 3/3 green centaur token. Oftentimes that's probably not a great idea. Maybe if you have something where all your opponent's creatures enter the battlefield tapped, so they don't have a massive board, at least you might have one turn of a window where all those creatures are not able to block. Or you could have Rampaging Ferocidon. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, deal 1 damage to its controller. If you make enough stuff, that could almost kill them right there. That'd be pretty funny. But yeah, I think that is pretty much the main thing that would destroy all artifacts at instant speed. But it's probably too painful of a drawback, I must say. But something that destroys multiple artifacts, I don't think there is. Other than that, Turn to Nature, Wilt, Putrefy, the fantastic Putrefy, quite nice. I've always wondered about Unleash the Inferno though. For 4, deal 7 damage to a creature or planeswalker. We could take out the Mayhem Devil, and the excess damage we get to destroy an artifact or enchantment an opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to that amount. So it could be a pretty decent 2-for-1. Yeah, I've always wondered about that. Maybe a pretty fantastic sideboard option, but still fairly expensive. Although 7 damage, instant speed, take out any creature or planeswalker, I imagine, and sometimes an enchantment. Yeah. Kolaghan's Command. I think if and when I do go back to Junt, Kolaghan's Command is definitely on the menu. You take out an artifact, 2 damage to any target, take out Reflection of Kiki Jiki. Yeah, that is devastating indeed. Likely they've killed one of our creatures, maybe a weaker one, but we return Topiary Stomper from our graveyard to our hand, replay it, get another basic. That'd be nice. Yeah. One day I'll try Rampage of the Clans. Maybe if a heavy enchantment deck and a heavy artifact deck become popular. I'm sure some sort of heavy artifact deck is going to make the waves, make some splashes. Maybe in a future set, of course. It'll happen. Alright, is it the third Rakdos Sacrifice of the night? Hard to say, but it is not hard to say this hand is not so great. That is certainly much better. Play it safe, send T-Rex to the bottom. Of course, maybe Gwenna gets Intra up. We got Mono Green Devotion, perhaps. Although with Lair of the Hydra, I think it's Gruel Vehicles. No, it's Mono Green Devotion. Okay. Wolf Willow Haven. Old Growth Troll. Huh. Oh. Well, where they want to go Gwen instead. Either way, we get ahead, and of course they won't interact this early with Huntmaster, so it could have safely come down and stuck around, but yeah, Mono Green Devotion going first probably does us in. We're at 7 Devotion now. Hopefully not playing Storm the Festival next turn, but you know, sometimes you just lose. Go with Huntmaster plus Topiary instead this turn. Next turn I could be at 6 if it matters all that much, but I imagine we're done for with the Old Growth Troll and Cavalier there. Yeah, the flipping Invasion of Ixalan. We're not coming back from this. Just not enough stuff, bodies early on. However, I get to test out Magmatic Chasm. One of the decks I plan to use it on is Mono Green Devotion. Build up enough of a board for lethal, boom, 1 hit, KO. Ripjaw Raptor, yeah, maybe. Verdant Sun's Avatar. Oh, you know what? I'm going to keep T-Rex in. Actually, I have to cut somebody. What am I thinking? Trim T-Rex. Okay. Possibly Gwenna could be cut, but again, there's a good chance she does stick around. So she could be the ticket to win it. Powering out multiple creatures in a turn, or just getting them out a little bit sooner. I do like the looks of that. At the very least, we get Topiary Stomper. We've seen 2 mulligans from this opponent, so hopefully that bodes well for us. Getting that dork, perhaps the first 2 hands just didn't have them, but I want Gwenna next turn. I like that. See if we can set ourselves up for success. Oh, a bunch of stuff, but no, still Gwenna. It's going to be nasty coming up. Possibly Huntmaster for 2. Carnage Tyrant for 5. Gwenna untaps Topiary for 2. Maybe. What do they got up their sleeve? Oh, a big layer. Okay. Being nice and aggressive. Okay, well. Certainly would like to play. Yeah, Carnage Tyrant. Let's get that. Gwenna untaps. I like it. Then get Huntmaster. And next turn, we barf a lot of stuff. Marauding for 1. Verdant Suns. Untapping. Beautiful. Not so beautiful with a second Nykthos. Hopefully Storm the Festival. Their hits are only Ooh. Well, at least it wasn't Kiora to untap Nykthos and possibly tap it. Certainly Carnage Tyrant scares away aggression from the Old Growth Troll. That is nice indeed. Imagine Karn is going to grab a Portal to Phyrexia. Gotta be Portal to Phyrexia. Oh, wow, surprise. Look at that. But look at this turn, folks. Pretty sweet stuff. Topiary Stomper, have her tap, another creature, bunch of man. Oh, beautiful. Hopefully we get to you know what coming up. You know what? It's all about the stalling. It's all about waiting for a Magmatic Chasm. When they play Portal to Phyrexia this turn, I just sacrifice Topiary, Marauding, and Huntmaster. That should feel pretty good. We still get Regis or Alpha next turn. I do have 5 lands and Gwenna. But they're definitely doing that portal. No questions. Luckily they don't have Kiora. Tapping Nykthos, untapping it. Imagine they could get it with this Storm the Festival, and that they do. Okay, okay. Where's Magmatic Chasm when you need it? We can see right here how they'd basically be dead next turn if they didn't cast Portal. I'm liking this Magmatic Chasm. Big time. It helps against the wide range, yeah, anything that has a bunch of creatures. You just get Magmatic Chasm, fly right past. I'm going to keep testing it out. Put it through the paces for sure. Seems to be working for other people. 1 in a red. Creatures you control are unblockable this turn against a lot of stuff is pretty sweet. Hopefully it's not another Kiora to untap Nykthos once it... Oof, phew. Okay, okay. This is good, this is good. They can't play Portal at the moment. They only have 7. This might be nice. I think we might be safe-ish. Oh boy. We're going to do it. Magmatic Chasm coming up. Let's see it. Okay. Polychronos they can flip, yeah. Their only option at this point. Oh, that's not Magmatic Chasm. Goodness, goodness. Well, play it. Good old Regis or Alpha. Gain a bunch of life 7, so we're still stabilizing like I was hoping with Verdant Sun's Avatar, and I just won't attack. Stall. Cross my fingers. Almost a quarter of the way through the deck, so I would hopefully see one of the 3 Magmatic Chasms. There's a very good chance at this point. I mean, it is just going to get absolutely disgusting and nasty this turn. We may still just be dead from all their stuff. Of course, Polychronos gaining life is going to be pretty painful, but yeah, it's a slim chance. Might be able to pull out a win. Maybe. Maybe they make Lair of the Hydra just super big. I think they'll keep recasting Storm the Festivals, though. They're not dead yet. What are they going to grab? Transmogrifying Wand, perhaps. Cityscape Leveler, also quite nice. I imagine they'll be able to untap Nykthos again. Replay. Oh, they had another one in hand. Okay, okay. That is good. I'm just interested to see if we draw that Magmatic Chasm and can get something super sneaky. Nah. I just won't bother at this point. Nykthos tapping for 19 green. Absolutely painful stuff. Yeah. Couldn't quite get it done. Alright, I'll leave it there. Again, take a bite out of that like button. Check out the Discord. Subscribe if you haven't already. Watching right now, later on. Hopefully you got some good sleep. At the very least, hopefully I put you to sleep quite nicely, as I sometimes do. Have a good rest of your time zone, Pterosaurus. Anybody else watching right now, later on, wherever it is, whenever it is. Yeah, that was pretty good. Some nice flashes of brilliance, some stuff that I'm going to think about. But overall, Tyrannix Rex, Carnage Tyrant, that core, and the nice stable ramping, that continues to stick around. And Magmatic Chasm as well. I love it. Love it. You just get to the big scary stuff, you can get the job done often enough. Even though you get flooded once in a while, even with 22 lands. We've seen it before, and it won't be the last time. Alright, peace.